Hey everyone, welcome back to Code with Yusuf channel. In this video, we will use Next.js to create a CRUD application. So this is the CRUD app that we will build in this video. So let's see which actions we will perform. Okay, like create, read, edit, and delete all these actions. So let's first of all check the demo. First, let's press this create new post, and we would like to create a new post. So we will paste with this page. And here let's assign the title like fourth post. This is fourth post I made. So let's press create post, so it will directly come here and we will see our new post. Okay, fourth post which has been added. Now let's press the read button. What happened? So look at, we can read our post like this, read post. We can go back to home page, or we can plus edit it. We can edit this post, or we can delete it. So let's first of all edit it. So press the edit button. I made updated one. I have just added updated one, and let's press save button. So look at, updated one has been added to that. Let's go back to home page. Updated one has been added. It means that we updated this post. Let's press delete button. What happens? So we can delete if we press here, or even if we move to read here, if we press the delete button, so it will delete the post. So this is a CRUD app that we will build using Next.js, and we will design it using Tailwind CSS. So let's start. First of all, we will create our project. And also remember that we will use JSON Server as a fake API, okay, to create operation with that. We will just install JSON Server, and we will just have a fake API to just post the data, delete, and add the data to that server. So I have opened Visual Studio Code editor and an empty folder in that. Let's now create our next project. So let's move to terminal by pressing Ctrl plus backtick, or you can move from your menus. Just come here to the terminal, and here I will write npx create next app at latest one. Press enter. Let's wait for this. Now what is your project name? So I don't want to assign any project name because I would like to create my project in the same folder. So let's press enter. So it says invalid project, only URL friendly character, or we can simply leave that it is assigned the my app. So in the React we were doing something like that. So now it says, would you like to use TypeScript? No. Select okay, no is selected. Press enter. And after that, would you like to use ESLint? Yes. Would you like to use Tailwind CSS? Yes. Would you like to use src directory? No, I don't want to use src directory. Would you like to use app router? Yes, we are using app router. We have two things, app router and a page router. So we will use app router. This is recommended one. And would you like to customize the default? Yes, yes, that is okay. Like @/ that is okay. And what import alias would you like to configure? That is okay as it is. And now it is installing our next app. So the project completed, installed, and now let's install two libraries packages that we need. The first one is, let's install them npm. First of all, we will move to our my app, cd my, press tab my app, press enter. After that, let's install now npm install Axios, which is HTTP request and response library, and JSON server that we will use as fake server. Press enter to install these two packages. So after the installation, now let's configure our server, JSON server. So to configure the JSON server, for that we need just come here to our my app folder. Inside that we will create a file db.json. So let's create that db.json, and inside this we will just paste a few records. I will just paste these two records: posts, title, content, and ID. These three fields it contains. Let's save this and close it. Now to run the db.json, it means our JSON server. So for that, let's come here to the package.json file, and here we will add here to the scripts, and inside the scripts we will add now a server. Our server is JSON server, so we will simply just write JSON server and watch to db.json. It means run db.json file and assign port number 5000, for example. Okay, assign this port number to our server and run this file. Let's save now this. Now let's run our JSON server. So to run that, let's move back to terminal. In the terminal, we will simply write npm run server. Press enter, so it will run our server. Look at on this path we can access our server. So let's copy this URL and come here to the browser and simply just write that here, so we can access our posts here. It means that we created our JSON server successfully. Now after creating and running the server, let's run our next app. So to run our next app, for that simply just come here and let's take a new terminal, and inside that let's move back to cd my app, npm run dev. After writing this command npm run dev, so it will run our next app. So by this path, okay, and this path we can access our next app. Let's press this control plus press this URL, so it will open in a new tab, and here we will see our next app. It is loading the first time. Let's wait for it. Yeah, let's close the terminal and let's check it. So this is our next default app that we has created. Now let's just customize this code and we will add our own CRUD app to this app. Let's first of all remove the default code. We have app directory because we have designed, we said at the installation time that we would like to use app directory, app route. It means we have two types of routes in next app. If you would like to use pages, so then you will have pages directory folder here, but we said that we would like to use app routes. So for app router, we have now app folder. Inside this app folder, we will write all our code. So let's just delete this view icon. Yes, I don't need this, and come here to the global CSS. I would like to just leave these Tailwind CSS three utilities, okay, but other rest of the CSS code I would like to delete all this code, the CSS code. Just leave that Tailwind CSS code. Save this and close this. And this is our layout. This is essential that we should have. Okay, if you delete this file, the Next.js will automatically create it again. And come here to the page.jsx. This is the default page which will run, okay, at the start, at the first time. So now let's delete all this code and we would like to write our own code. We will have a div element, and inside this div element, let's also close this image. Inside this div element, for example, we would like to, by default, we would like to fetch our records and display the records like this. So for displaying our records, for that we need to create a new folder inside app. So it means create a new folder posts. It means all our post data will be existed inside this folder, and inside this folder we will create a page.js. Page.js. This file, by default, whenever you move to this route, okay, the folder are routes. Okay, if you write in your URL /posts, so it will directly move to this page.js file. So let's write something inside this. Export default function, like this is posts. Simply let's write a div element, and inside that I will write one tag posts. Let's save this and import it inside our default page.js file. Save it, and let's now move to this URL. Look at, by default we imported posts inside this page.jx, so we can see the posts here now. And one thing else that you should keep in mind in app routing, okay, if you are using app routing, in that every component is treated as server component. Like these components are server component. If you would like to make them client component, so for that you need to add a directive use client at the type of every component. So we will add that later. So right now let's fetch our data and display that in this posts page. So first of all, we need to just fetch the data. So let's create a state variable to store our data inside that state variable. Posts set posts is equal to use state. We will use state. So now this component is treated as server component, but if you write this use state, so this is for client side, so it will give you an error. So for removing that error, you should add the use client directory, use client at the top of your file. So it means this is a client side component. Now we can use state, use effect, and also events in our component. So after that, let's fetch our records, our data. So to fetch that, for that we will create a function fetch records or posts, and this is an asynchronous function with us. Let's now here we will just write const, or we can simply write response is equal to with the wait, we will use a wait keyword, and Axios, we will use Axios to the method of Axios to fetch data, Axios.get method, and here we will write our URL. So the URL is this one, okay, this is our URL to fetch our records. Paste that here. After that, now let's assign our data to this posts state variable. Simply here we will just write set post, we will call set post method, and we will assign response.data. So it will store the posts inside this posts. Now let's call this fetch records inside a use effect hook. Call fetch records. And also let's add array dependency here. Now let's display our records. So to display our records, for that just come here, and instead of this we will display now our records. Let's have a div element, and inside that div element, first of all we will have, look at blog post, then create new link. So this new link will move navigate us to create page, create component. So for that just come here, and this is h1, and here I will write blog posts, and down from that we will use link. Okay, whenever you would like to create a link between pages, between components, so for that we are using link. So let's first of all import the link. Link will be imported from next link. Look at, we have imported link. Now let's use it. So here we will assign href property, and in the href we will just write, for example, posts /create. So where it will move to the posts directory, to the post folder, and to the create folder, the next. Okay, right now we don't have the create, later we will create that. Create new posts, and down from that now let's display our records. In we will display our records in a table. So let's use table. T-head, just simply write T-head inside that table row, and inside this table row the table head, okay, th tag, and inside it the first of all we will display the id, then we will display title, after that content, and after that we will display action, which action you would like to perform, read, delete, or edit. And down from t-head now we have t-body tag, and inside that we will display our records. So let's use map function for that to display our records. So to display the records, let's simply use posts dot map, and here we will have post, and inside control sit, and simply here we will have table row, and inside this table row, let's first of all assign key to this table row. Post.id is the key, and down from that we will display id, title, and content. Table data tag, and inside that post.id, post.title, post.content. And down from that we will have three buttons. Let's remove this, and we will have three buttons. The first button is for read, the second one for edit, the third one for delete. That is how it will looks like. Now let's move how it looks like. Okay, let's move to the browser. So look at, we have blog post, we have create new post link, and we have id, title, content, and action, and we have this. Okay, look at to the id, first post, title, the content, and three buttons. We have these three buttons. So now let's design it. So to design it, for the design purpose, I am using Tailwind CSS. We can just simply write like flex column items center py20, padding top and bottom 20, and just some here class flex justify between, and just come here, and here I will add class name text 3xl, font bold, and let's add class name to this link px4 py 1.5 bg green 500. Let's first of all check this area. So look at it, looks like this. We'll just add around it and text white. Simply it looks like this. And one thing else, that flex justify between. So justify between is not working. Why? Flex. I will just check the class between. So just, yeah, instead of this, let's write something else. Px, for example, we will add 48. Okay, because we would like to just cover the whole page like this. It should looks like this. We will just adding from right side and left side. Now let's design our table also. So for the table also, I will add the Tailwind CSS classes. So I have just added the Tailwind CSS classes. These are design classes. You can check them, like I have added divide by, divide gray, 200, like this to the table, then bg gray, and after that to the t head, scope column, and also I have added these classes. Look at simple Tailwind CSS classes, padding and text start, font medium, text gray, color, and uppercase. Just come here back to the t body, table body. I have added these classes, and also to the td, and also to these buttons, just color. So the final result is like this. Okay, this is our table, and it looks like this. Now let's, whenever we press this create new post, so we will move to a new page, and we would like to create our posts. So for that, let's come here, and we will create a new folder inside this posts. We will name it create, and inside this create, let's create page.js. Let's simply run RAFCE to create a functional component, and we can just name like create. We can change the name also. Save it. Now let's check it. Okay, just come here. Let's press this create new posts. So it will directly come here to the create, okay, to the page that we have created like this. Create post page. Did it look at it? Looks like this. We are at that page. Now let's create a forum, simple forum, to just create a new posts. So for the forum, I will have a forum, and that will contain simple input field for title and content. So I have created just this forum. This is just JSX HTML code, nothing else. We have div element and I have added the Tailwind CSS classes and h1 tag, create a new post, then a forum, and we don't have right now the function. And after that input and text area. Just this is for the title and this is for the content. And here we have a button. So I will create just two state variable, title and content. Let's add use client directive also at the start. And create let's two state variable. Set title. Now let's use them. So whenever we write something in those let's look at, so whenever we write something in these input fields, so we should store them in those state variables. So to do it, for that simply just come here, we will write here on change event, we will call on change event, and we will create an arrow function, and we will simply call here set title, and we will pass e.target that value. So what it will do, whatever we are writing in the input field, so it will store that inside this title variable. Also we will do the same thing for set content also. So simply change this to set content. That's it. So now whenever we press this button, so we will call a function. So let's come here to the forum, and now here we will add on submit event, and we will call handle submit function. So let's create the submit function. We will pass an event, it will get an event, and we will just pass prevent default. So this is essential whenever you are submitting a forum to call this. Okay, a.prevent default, so it will just prevent the default submission. Down from that, we will now just pass our data to store that inside the JSON server. So let's use Axios. First of all, let's make this function asynchronous, and here we will just simply write a wait keyword first of all, then write Axios, import Axios dot post. We will post data to the URL. So let's copy that URL, this URL. After that, we will pass our data in an object, which is title and content. That's it. Now we will move directly back to home page. Whenever we create a successful post, so then we will move back to the home page. So for that we will use router. So let's create an instance of that. Router is equal to use router. So we will import that from next navigation, not router. Okay, next navigation. Now let's simply use router. Router dot push, we will call push method, and slash, it means we go back to home page. That's it. Let's create a new post, like this is third post, third made new project. Press create post. So we paste with an error. It says cannot use properties of reading map. So let's check it. Okay, undefined map. Let's just refresh our page back, and it says map. We can treat the properties a map here. Okay, just come here and posts. Yeah, fetch records, await response data, post start map. So let's check the server is running or not. We paste with map. It means that it can't access the data. Axios.get set posts response.data. Oh, that should be an array. Okay, that should be an array. Let's make it an array. So that is okay. Now just come here. I think we solved the error. Yeah, that is okay. We should change that because that is an array. We are assigning an array to that. Now let's go back to create new post, and this is fourth post made by new project. Simply press create new post. Look at fourth post, and we have created the new post made by new project. That's it, that we have created new post. Now let's implement the functionality of read and edit. So to read and edit a post. So for the edit and delete, the easiest way is that to create separate pages for edit and read, but I will implement the whole logic for the edit and the read post. Okay, for the edit and read post, I will implement the logic in one file. It means that I will just show you something else. Okay, how to pass the parameter in URL, and how to just enable that the edit and read mode. I will just show you. Okay, this is essential to just improve your logic. But if you would like to create a separate pages for read and edit, that is easiest way. But we would like to implement my method, that I would like to pass parameter for edit and read. So let's first of all create a post folder for the dynamic caching. It means the dynamic routing. So for the dynamic routing, we will create folder like this, and we will pass ID to that. It means that we are just getting reading or editing a post based on ID. Press enter. So we have created this folder. Now inside this, let's create a file, page.js. Let's create a function, export default function. In this function, we will get parameters, params. Okay, whenever we are pressing, editing or reading a post, so we will get params here, parameters. So here, let's first of all get our cache ID from these params. So const ID is equal to params.id. Simple. Now, based on this ID, we would like to fetch the record. So to fetch the record, for that we would like to just, let's first of all use effect. If ID was existed, so then fetch record. So I will create fetch post method. Also I will that is okay. Add array dependency and add ID. If the ID changed, call this again. Here, simple add like this. Now let's create this fetch post function. This is an asynchronous function. Simply just come here, and we would like to just now get the post. Okay, const await keyword first of all, then Axios. Let's import Axios.get. We would like to get a record based on ID. So for that, simply just write the URL. Like this is the URL. Paste URL here. Now inside this paste URL, I will just add ID also. So to add ID, for that simply we can write like plus ID, or here slash plus ID, or we can use this method. Okay, just come here, and here I will simply write the $sign. Then here I will add ID, but change this to backticks like this. Now it will just get post based on this ID. Now let's store that inside a variable, a state variable. So let's create the state variable, const post set post use state. By default, assign null to that. Now let's call set post, and we will pass response.data. Let's now display the record. So to display the record, let's return, and here let's just, we will have a div element inside that. Let's create another div inside here. We will just read first of all in h1 h2 tag. Let's h3 tag. Here we will implement read the title, post.title, and in p tag post.content. Okay, so this is reading a post. Now whenever we press a read button, just come here. So whenever we read this, click on this read button, so it will move to that page.js, and it will read the post for us. So let's now implement link it means we will wrap this button through a link. We will import that from Next. So let's import that from React Next. Simple like this. Control X. We already imported, I think, the link. Yeah, we already imported that. Now let's move to href, and we would like to move /posts, and we will pass ID to that. So to pass ID for that, simply write $, and we will pass here post.id. Let's change this to backtick. Also wrap in curly braces. That's it. Okay. Let's check it now. Just come here and let's refresh it. Let's, for example, read the first quote. Press this read button. We paste with an error, so let's solve the error. So let's check where is the error. It is again and again. Next.js post id page.js. You are importing a component that needs you. Yeah, let's add use client. Just come here and we would like to add use client. That is okay. So it will solve now and fix the issue. Reading title. Yeah. Let's make it. Just come here and here we will just add post. If post was available, so then read post data for us. It means if there was something inside post, so then read the data for us. Save that. So that is okay. Look at first post. This is first post made by CRUD app. So after reading the post, now let's just design it, and also we would like to add the edit functionality. It means to edit this post. Okay, just come here and so for the edit functionality, we will add here a button edit. Whenever we press this edit, we will just start editing this post. So just come here and down from these posts, here I will have down from this div element. Okay, here I will have 3 buttons. A div element, and inside that div element we will just here we will just have 3 buttons. First button is for back to home, the second one for edit, and the third one for just delete. So we have these 3 buttons. So whenever I press this edit button, later I will design this. Okay, but by pressing this edit button, I will enable editing the form, the data. So let's just create a state variable here. Just come here and I would like to create const. The variable is editing, or we can name it editing set editing. Use state, by default that is false. So by default value is false. Just come here and we will just have a div element. Wrap all our code inside this div element. Alt Shift F to just format the document. So here I will just add, now if the editing mode was on, so we will fetch the editing component, the editing elements here. If that was false, so then we will display the post, this post. So let's do it like this. Okay, editing, we have editing variable. If that was true, so then we will display something like I will just show you editing mode. If that was not true, so then I will just display that. Okay, let's just cut this code and paste that here. If that was not true, so then I will display this code. Look at, first of all, if the post was available, then here if the editing mode was turned on, if that was true, so I will display these elements. If that was up, I will display the read post title. So now let's change the value of editing. Okay, whenever we press this edit button, we will change the value of this editing. So let's do it. On click, simply I will call set editing, and I will just pass not editing. Look at, if the editing was true, it will make that to false. If that was false, so it will make it true. Save it. Let's check it now. Just come here. Look at, we have our first post. Let's press the edit. Look at editing mode. We have changed to editing mode. So now on the editing mode, I will display a form. So let's design a form. And inside that, we will have an input field. And type is text. Placeholder is title. And the value is, so by default we should see the value, which value is inside that. It means which post we would like to edit. We should see the title of that post inside this input field. So let's, first of all, I will just show you, later I will just design that for you. Let's just write text area. To the text area, or we cannot just add something like, just leave it like this. Let's create a button. So that's it. Let's check it. Now press the edit button. Look at, we have the title field, and we have the text area, and we have a save button. That's okay. Now which post we would like to edit, we should see the title of that and the post of that, the content of that. So for that, just come here back to pitch post, and here I will create first of all two state variable, const title, set title, default value is an empty string, and also let's create for content also. Set content. Now let's assign values to these whenever we pitch data. Simply let's write set title. We will write response dot data dot title, and also our set content dot content. That's it. Now here are just value. Value is title, and to the text area add value, which is content. Save that. Let's check it now. Edit, and we have our first port, and we have this text. Now let's design. Okay, I will just add the design for reading the post and also for editing that. So for the design, I will just simply add the tailwind CSS classes. I will pause the video for that to save time. Then I will show you all the classes. So let's check now. I have added this h1 element also. Here I just specified, if the editing mode was on, just display edit post. If that was off, display read post. It means we are at the reading section. And come here, and here I added flex column, and to this forum I have added these classes. Input, to the input I have added border, to the text area I have added border, and to the button I have added a color. To this title I have added increase the size and font bold, and also these are three buttons which I have added the colors to them. Look at, this is our post. Press the edit button so we can see our post, our forum like this. Now whenever we edit post, we should, by pressing save button, we will save the post. So for that, simply just come here. Whenever we are just editing values, we will call unchange event, create an arrow function. I will call here set title and e.target.value. It means we are changing the value of that, and simply just come here and change set content. We will change the value e.target.value. Let's save that, and by pressing save button, let's call a function. Just come here to on submit. handle submit. Let's create this function. So here we will go event. So simply here we will use, let's copy this and paste it here. This is an async, and let's change this now to put, because we would like to update our data. Post/id, we would like to update our id based our record based on this id, and let's find now, pass now title and content. So it will update our post. After editing, let's call set editing to false, and we can just edit our object, set post object. That is better way, but now for easiest way I will just call pitch posts to pitch the updated post for us. Let's edit it. First post, I will just add this first to the title and remove this first from the content. Press save button. So look at, we have added here and we removed from the content. So that's how it looks like. Now whenever we press home button, so we will go back to the home page. So for that we need to use a router. So to use router, for that again we need to create instance of router. So let's do it. Const router use router. We will import that from navigation. Now let's use that. Whenever we press this home button, on click, so let's router.push/homepage. Let's press home button, so we directly come here to home button. But if we press the edit button here, what we need to do, so here is the logic, okay, to pass a parameter to our dynamic route. So let's just come here. So whenever we press the edit button here, so we would like to pass a parameter, edit parameter. We will pass parameter with both of these, read and edit. Okay, let's pass the parameter would be like this, question mark, then mode is equal to read. Here the mode is read, but here the mode would be edit. So let's create a link here also. Copy this and paste it before the edit. Paste it here. Let's alt shift up. So here the mode is read, so here the mode would be edit. Simple like this. Okay, so whenever we press edit, we will go back to that page, but the mode is edit. Now let's handle this issue inside our page. So whenever we get here parameter, so here I will get the mode also. So let's read the mode. Const mode. So for reading mode, we need to use search query, use search params hook. So let's do that. Const search query or search param is equal to use search params. We would like to import this search param hook from Next navigation. Now we will use this search query to read the mode from URL. Const mode is equal to search query dot mode, search query dot get mode. That's simple. After reading mode, now here we will assign the default value like mode is equal to edit. If the mode was equal to with edit, so it will assign true to the editing, otherwise false. And but where some else we need to just assign So let's create a use effect hook now for the mode also. Okay, so use effect. Inside that we will just call set editing as a mode. If the mode was edit, so it will assign true, otherwise false. So here I will just write mode. It will update the this use effect whenever we change the value of mode. I think we have done it and everything is okay. Let's press the edit button. So look at, we directly move to the editing mode. Like we are at the editing mode right now. So we can edit past, post, like second, press save. So we have edited, look at, go back to editing, home. So that is how we can handle the editing, how to pass a parameter and how to handle that, the issue. So now let's implement the last functionality, which is delete. Whenever we press this delete button, we will delete that record. So let's do it. Let's go back to our posts. So here whenever we press the delete button, so let's on click, we will call handle delete. Let's create this function, and also we will pass id to this handle delete function. Whenever you are passing an id or something, so you should make it an arrow function. So to pass the id, for that simply we need to use post.id. Just come here to create that function. Now whenever we delete our record, so we would like to refresh the data. So to refresh the data, for that we need to assign a new data to this post. So for that simply let's write const filter data or posts is equal to with the posts dot simply write filter function like post.id was not equal to with id. Just filter paste like this and assign to set posts filter data. So it will refresh our data. Let's press the delete button. Look at, the record has been deleted. Now whenever we move to read mode and here to delete the record, for that simply let's copy this function code. We can handle, okay, here we have a duplicate code of the delete function, but for handling this we need to create the home page. Okay, to handle that, create a home page, then pass through the components. So that is a lengthy process. I will not cover that in this video. So here simply I will just come here to the dynamic route page, and here I will paste that function, and instead of this routing, let's move, we will use router dot push to go whenever we delete. So we will move back to the delete to the home page. So let's copy this function and use that here. On click, just paste that, and we already have the id. Okay, we have id here, so I will not pass id to this delete function. Save that. Let's press the delete button. So delete it, and we move directly back to the home page. So this was all the whole process that we have created a post, and also read and edit the post, and here also edit the post and also delete the post. We have implemented all these functionalities in this video using Next.js. I hope you learned something from this video. So don't forget to like our video, comment down, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.